I'm Katrina, and this is Tare, and today we're talking about density in your aviary, your quail aviaries. So this question was asked by a viewer, and I thought it would be best to go through this as a video. So all aviaries are going to be different. This aviary is about 7 feet by 10 feet, giving us approximately 70 square feet. So again, these things are built, you know, not based on anything other than, hey, this is the size of wood I found on the side of the road, in this case. And on the aviary's case, it was built on base of the size of where I could put it and the size of the rabbit hutches. So for me, both of my aviary settings are kind of not designed for this many birds. But I've experimented with some different densities, and I'll show you what I came up with. So let's go inside and I'll show you what it looks like in there, and you can make your own opinions based on kind of this information. Here we go. Hi birdies. Hello. So anybody with a blue band in here was hatched in here. I had a mama go broody. Come on in. Okay, so you guys are set up in the very corner of the aviary. And there we go. And you can see just how open it is in here. There are, I think I kept 5 males and 25 females. It might have been 20 and 4, I don't remember. And then there are 5 younger ones in here as well. So we're looking at about 30 birds in here. I think we had 1 die earlier. But we're looking at about 30 birds in here. This is 70 square feet. And this is what it looks like. So basically, there's a bunch of them around. There's nobody, and there wasn't anybody in this space right in front of the camera when we came in. They were all kind of over there. It's dinner time. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's the ultimate quail feeder, and there is a video on that. I will put a link up here so you guys can see that if you are interested in having an it's a very, very long-term feeder for your aviary, for your quail, and it can be adjusted for hutches and for cage systems as well. But you can see how much space they take up, and they don't really take up that much space. They do tend to stay closer together. A lot of times they tend to go on the outsides of the aviary and not really in the middle. And they're not really in the middle, but they're kind of spending their time over there a little bit, which is completely fine. So that kind of gives you the habits of the Coturnix quail. Is they are a group animal. They group up. They do very well close together. And that is the reason why in a cage system, they have you, what's said is like 3 birds per square foot. It sounds really, really, really dense, but when you look in the cage, they're already clumped up on one side anyway. And the same thing happens in an aviary system, is that they do tend to clump up. Now, something in the cage system for that density, the only reason why it's there is it is too dense for them to hold territories and not dense enough for them to be super uncomfortable and fight a lot. So for those 2 reasons. Now, in an aviary, they can hold territories and they do chase each other around, but the difference is there's enough room for them to run away. There's enough room for them to get out of the way of one that says, hey, this is my territory, you should not be over here, and there's room for them to go away. I have seen them chase each other, but in general, they pretty much have their pecking order. You know, you're going to have any of those arguments early on when you introduce your birds together, or when they become adults, you'll have, they're going to have to go through pecking order stuff again. But in general, they're very happy birds, and they do very well. So while I would say you could do up to 1 per square foot in an aviary, I don't think that's practical. I think that is, I have had that many in here. I've had that many in here and it works. Mostly when they're young is when I've had that in there, and then when they get 8 weeks old, I cull some out. But it does work. However, if I hear you, if you have any sort of territorial behavior that they're going to be chasing, you're going to have more potential for them to hit the sides, flush and hit the sides and stuff like that when you have that density. I don't think I really had that issue, but it's just something I think might happen. But what you really want to do is think hard about your manure management. So your manure management in an aviary will depend on what you're doing, right? There's some people that just have the dirt that's on the dirt. They have, you know, free range to dust bathe in actual native dirt or soil. And I don't do that. You have to basically clean up the poo a lot. What I do is this deep litter method. And so we are sitting on probably 18 inches to 24 inches, depending on where you are, of wood chips, and it has composted down, and it's basically ready to sift out and get our compost out, because that's what happens when you keep birds on wood chips. Hi, guys, there's enough food. Pick a different hole. Pick a different hole. They have plenty of food in there. We just saw a little argument there. That must be the best hole. Anyway, so what I do is a deep litter system. A deep litter system is I get wood chips from a tree trimmer and they drop off the whole entire truck worth. So it's good because you get all that material for free. They don't have to pay to dump it at a dump, but it's also something that you do need to realize, hey, I need a place to put this. Now for me, it is blocking one of my garage doors in the back of the alley, in the alleyway, basically my driveway in the alleyway. And for me, that's fine. I get around it. That's where I keep it. And so this does have tons of wood chips in there. And so deep litter means you have the wood chips. I mean, it's really good to have the leaves in there as well. Just don't do cedar. And then, of course, poison oak or something like that too. And what you have to do then is, instead of changing poop trays like on a cage system, instead of picking up everything like on a dirt system, is you just come in and you fork it up. And I will do that, and you guys will see. I mean, they're already picking through some things, but you'll see how they react to that. And it's good to do this. It's going to be based on how many birds you have, how often you do it. It's also going to be based on your moisture level in your air or in the rain or whatever, because when it is more moist out, when there's more rain, it's going to be a little more smelly. So if you do get, like, that's why I say to put a roof over the edge, because if that rain comes in, wet poo is never going to smell good, right? And it's not going to be good on their feet either. So you're going to want to pay attention to that more often in the wet seasons, and then also just depending on your general climate. So here it's generally dry in the summer, wet in the winter, and so I do that. You can go a couple weeks without doing any management when it's dry with this number of birds. When you have a lot of birds, you have to do it more often. So personally, I would shoot for something that you do once a week or less, and just do it once a week. If you want to go denser, that would be okay. Just understand the management, understand the level of management that you are going to do. So that's what I would say. Now I'm going to fork this up and flip it over for you guys. You'll see what that looks like. You'll see how happy it makes them. They're gonna kind of freak out a little bit because I don't I don't do that as much in here as the other one. But they're gonna have some fun time picking through stuff, looking for yums. Alright guys. Alright guys. You do have food in there, right? You do. You have plenty of food. What are you guys fighting over? So I just use a pitchfork, a little one like this. And I have a variety of techniques. I used to go like this and turn it. I used to just do that everywhere, but it's really hard on the wrists to do that. So I have gone to kind of a pull it up and fluff thing. So that's what I do. Hi guys. And again, there's a lot more dust in here because it is ready to sift out. When we sift it, we're gonna wear masks. Probably should be wearing masks too. Here. Excuse me. Excuse me. This did get a little bit wet from the rain over here, unfortunately. I thought I had it far enough. Excuse me guys, go the other way. Go the other way. Out of the corner. Excuse me. Guys, go over there. Move. Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. Excuse me. Go, go, go. Thank you. So I put grass clumps in here at some point and they're still here. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. So that didn't take very long at all. I mean, it really didn't. And so that's why I like doing deep litter, is it's really, really easy. Now you'll see they are now hunting through things and they'll find little things here and there. I have no idea what they're finding to eat, little bugs. But I do not then have to go through and smooth this. Give them a couple days and it will be back to smooth. And you can see there's very much a chicken-like behavior with this one right here. Pulling things back. Now they do scratch, but they don't scratch as deep as a chicken. So that's why you have to fork it yourself. So I would say start small, and if you want to add more birds and expect that you're going to be doing this more often. And then at some point you're going to be like, okay, I need less birds in here, in this space. So, my goodness, boys. What are you arguing about? But you can see they're going to be entertained for the next couple days just because I forked up that stuff. Huh. Good stuff right there. I know you got taller, you can see further. So I hope that answered the question and gave you more of a visual of why you might choose a different density. Like I said, I have about 30 birds in here, and it's 70 square feet. And I have had, one time I had 68 birds in here, and I had a neighbor come over, and I'm like, oh yeah, this many. And she's like, are you serious? That's so many. What do you mean you have them there? And we walked in, and we saw hardly any of them. There was a bunch crammed into the sandbox. There was a bunch over in the corner. They were just like all over around the outside, and there was no way she would have come to the conclusion that there were 68 in there at that point. So yeah, so that it's not just a matter of how many will fit, how many, you know, they'll be okay with. It's a matter of manure management in my mind. And yeah, and go from there. So thank you for watching. Thank you for asking the question, and I hope this helps. And yeah, have fun with your quail. And if you have questions, I do have a live chat every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we can chat about your specific aviary questions, or you have general questions, we can talk about that too. All right, thank you for watching. Hit that like, and if you are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Hit the bell notification and select all so that you get all the notifications. We do all sorts of stuff on this channel, homesteading related, and it's awesome. So I would love to have you guys be part of that and have you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.